Coming to you from UBN Studios in Burbank, California. You are listening to the Unsugarcoated podcast with your host, Aalia.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Unsugarcoated with Aalia. I am your host today, and we're going to have a fun time today, okay? I have something incredible for you. I can't wait. But before we do bring on two amazing guests that I have to talk to you guys about something, and I have to be a little bit transparent. I don't know how you're doing. I hope you're doing well, but I wanted to make an honest admission because a lot of times I come on here and I know we're fun and we talk about things and we talk about a lot of issues, but I don't really go into too much about how COVID is affecting me as an individual. And I just want people to know that I'm human too. You know, I'm struggling. I've got kids. I've got two teenagers on online school in LAUSD. I have a 3-year-old who's just like, I've watched more Baby Shark than I really want to care to admit. And on top of it, you know, we have everything. And I was thinking the other day about what I need and where I'm kind of going with my own personality. Like normally I'm trying to be empowered and we're the living strong and we've got this. And then you get what we're going through right now. And even I find myself challenged. And I want people to know that it's okay to not be okay. I remember when I was first diagnosed with cancer, the doctor handed me this prescription for an antidepressant, right? And I looked at her and I'm like, I don't need that. I've been through things in life and yeah, this is probably going to suck, but I'm going to get through it. Stiff upper lip and all, right? And a year later, I came back and I'm like, yo, please, can I have this prescription now, please? Because I realized that I didn't need to go through this situation on my own. And while I'm not advocating for prescription drugs, what I'm actually advocating is for people to remember that if you're feeling something, you know, talk to the people in your family. Like I actually told my husband, hey, just so you know, I'm not doing too good. Like I have moments where I get angry, a little bit quicker than I like to. And I think maybe I should find some other ways for me to deal with this. And, you know, it feels good to be able to say that without, you know, we talk about destigmatizing, and this is what I'm trying to do. I'm destigmatizing by saying you're allowed to not be perfect. You're allowed to not be freaking Superwoman. I was at the costume store the other day getting my Wonder Woman gear, but I am still a human freaking being. And I want people to remember that more than anything because, you know, we all are having a tough time. So the people that I'm actually going to be bringing on today, we're going to talk about one of the things that you can do to feel good. How do we feel better about ourselves? For some people, it's taking a walk, a hike. You know, for some people, it's getting glammed up. So who I've got to talk to you today is going to help with that. So let's get it going. All right. Richie Rich is an American fashion designer, legendary club kid, pop culture star, and revered style idol. In 1999, Richie Rich and Trevor Raines founded the cult classic fashion label Heatherette, whose runway shows would kick off Fashion Week throughout the world from New York to Tokyo. Richie Rich's designs have adorned the likes of a who's who's in young Hollywood, including Paris Hilton, Miley Cyrus, Naomi Campbell, Pink, and Fergie. Having unleashed a fashion powerhouse with the appearance on his runway shows by Ellen DeGeneres, Pamela Anderson, and Dita Von Teese, Richie Rich can be seen as a special guest on America's Next Top Model and Project Runway and New York's the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Named fashion director of Beautykween, his motto remains, everybody is a star. And with that, we have Mr. D, who has worked with the list of who's from Naomi Campbell, Elton John, Madonna, and Snoop Dogg. Mr. D was making brands go viral long before the internet was a thing. And now he is bringing those same sensibilities to the virtual world with Beautykween. Regarded as a pioneer of hipper than thou, bleeding edge cool fashion branding, Mr. D's created blockbusters concept and conceived groundbreaking live shows. Some of his best known credits are legendary. The Supermodel Breakthrough Special, Victoria's Secret Angels, the Cosmetic Gods debut, NARS, the pop concert extravaganza for fashion idol Versace. Mr. D blazed the trail, bringing fashion brands out of industry circles onto the world stage. And he's bringing it here today. Everyone, please welcome Richie Rich and Mr. D.
Hey!
Gosh, you guys.
How are you, love? Thank you for having us.
Hey everyone at Unsugarcoated. Great to be here with you, Leah. So happy, so blessed, so healthy. What a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for having us both.
Thank you.
Fabulous. Boom. Thank you. Let's get Unsugarcoated.
Yeah, let's get it. Because you know what? I mean, I know sometimes people might give me a little bit of crap because I love to do these long intros, right? But you guys have done some phenomenal work. And why would we not celebrate that? Why would I not want to bring you on the show and not have people know exactly who you are and who you've worked with?
Yes, we love that.
Thank you.
So you guys, let's talk about Beautykween first. And let's talk about how, what inspired beautykween.com.
Well, we've done so many amazing, beautiful, fun projects throughout our career. We look at everything as fun. We don't look at it as work. And we wanted to do something for teens and tweens and queens. And we felt that this concept, Beautykween, would really be the most ultimate, fabulous, glamorous platform for everyone that loved makeup, that was a fan of music, a fan of pop culture, to gather around, come around, and have this amazing window into the world of fabulosity.
Totally. I mean, I met Mr. D. We were kids, and Fashion Week, I mean, that was with Fern Malice that ran Bryant Park here in New York, and then also in Los Angeles, like Fashion Week there. And we both had this dream of like basically like getting into that bubble of a world that we're just like people that we want to inspire now. Like, and D and I just hit it off, and then the rest is now Beautykween history.
Yeah, going into
well said.
So for people who don't know what it is, like this is a big deal, and it's it's free, by the way. I think that's incredible. There's very much a message. You guys did this during COVID. I mean, so what exactly is it, and what can people experience when they step into your world?
Well, of course, stepping into our world is like nothing you've ever experienced. Richie and I always deliver something with wham, some bam, some pop, and a load of glitter, right? And so we wanted to create something very glitzy and very amazing that would live on the screen, that would live in your pocket on your devices, whether it be your desktop, your laptop, your phone, your tablet, and be able to connect all these kids together that are really ruling their world right now through their personalities and through this amazing use of makeup. Makeup is becoming the flag that they fly to show that they're different, to show that they're individuals, and to show that they're truly amazing beings. And so we wanted to unite them. We call them super fans, and we're really doing a super fan world. And it'll start in a few months. Everyone can come along and join and ride the rainbow with us to Beautykween.
So
Boom.
Yeah, I'm signed up. I need that. I need that goodness in my life, and I love everything about it. A couple things I want to talk about, because when you brought up the club kids, you guys were really part of ushering in a generation of what I feel from, I'm 45, so I'm saying you were the kids who ushered in a permission to be who you want to be. I feel. Was that hard? What was that journey like for you?
I think like when I was just going out with my friends, having fun and everything, and we were dressing up in our bedrooms and sometimes the Burger King bathroom, and just kind of like being like, let's be who we are, and like, inspired by like David Bowie and the Madonna and everybody like that. And I feel like it wasn't really so much like it was just like we just knew that we wanted to be who we felt good to be, that maybe we were told not to be that way, or we didn't feel like we had any rules, but we were told we had rules. And then so we just kind of broke that barrier. And I think that's where the club kids really came out of, like, where everybody is invited, everybody can be who you want to be. I mean, and that, so it wasn't so much permission then. I feel like we were actually not wanting everybody else's permission. We were more like, we're just going to create our own world. And
yeah, create our own thing. Absolutely. I think growing up, you said it right, Richie, growing up, I always wanted to be Walt Disney. Richie always wanted to be Mickey Mouse. That's why we complement each other so well. We love creating worlds. And now we're just fortunate and blessed to be at the point in our careers where we can kind of give back in a way. We're not really giving back, we're giving it forward. And we want to make everyone come around this focus of beauty and fashion and music and pop culture and embrace it and be able to be the best version of yourself, whatever that might be. Because in a lot of places around the world, not just here in America, in a lot of places, you really can't go outside your front door and be who you feel you are and be who you want to be. And Richie and I are examples of that. I mean, look at us today. We don't care what we wear. We don't care how we wear it. we just want to be amazing every day. And we do that. And we want to empower everyone out there, not just kids, every age, older, younger, whoever you are, wherever you might be, whether you consider yourself a boy, a girl, wherever you identify yourself as. We just really want them to be able to be absolutely awesome.
That is incredible.
Totally.
That is incredible. Sorry.
Spread the good energy and the good vibes. Like, hello.
No, it's important. There's too much ugliness out there in the world. I'm sorry, I have to say it. I mean, look, I'm from a conservative background, and when you talk about that, Mr. D, I feel you, and I love. It's one of the things I love about my husband, by the way, that he is a 40-something-year-old man, and he's taking a business meeting in his sneakers and his memento shirt. It's like it doesn't matter. It may not be as glam, but I mean, what I'm saying is it's his style. He's refusing to conform to what somebody else is saying, that, oh, I have to wear a business suit in order to be taken seriously, or to be who, just being comfortable with who you want to be with, and the different versions of what that looks like. I think that when it comes to what I've seen, I'm just being very candid. I have to say this, when I go online and I see a video of a young boy who's done flawless makeup, makeup better than I can do it, for sure, hands down. And I've been doing my makeup for a long time. I see these ugly comments. It breaks my heart, because I feel sorry for the person who thinks that it's okay to talk to a child like that. And I always love breaking stereotypes. Just because a boy puts on makeup, does that make him, gay? And that's what people perceive. Yeah. What do you think about as a club kid, as a person who stands up for others?
Well, growing up, my brothers in the suburbs, we're a very close family. They're older than me, and they introduced me to David Bowie, meaning his records and everything, and Debbie Harry, and they saw something in me that they loved their music, and they saw something in me that they saw a little me in them, or them in me rather. And so I feel like people forget, you watch entertainment, you watch movies, you watch TV shows, the jocks in my high school couldn't wait for Halloween to dress up like cheerleaders. I mean, it doesn't mean you're gay or anything. It's just have fun. I mean, and if you're going to really be yourself and be out there, I mean, it doesn't mean you need a full set of lashes. You can just let people live, and hey.
I think that's cool.
I definitely think that the mentality that Richie and I have is quite unique, but we find that everywhere we go, when we travel around the world normally, and we see people that are very much like us. We consider ourselves the oddballs, the misfits, but hey, we're ruling our world, and a lot of us are ruling the world. And if you look at someone like Richie, who is a legendary former club kid, when I met him, it was backstage at this glamorous Versace fashion show in Times Square, Manhattan. I looked to the backstage and I saw this, young kid, similar like me in age, and he had on skin tight pants with studs on them, Swarovski studded, high heels, a tight glamorous shirt, amazing face with bright lipstick, hat, bright pink hair. I mean, this is a while back. And I have to say, that was so different for me to see someone like that. We started talking, and as I got to know him, he defined himself just as a boy. Because one of the things that we really learned as we grew older and older, and we like to say there's no such thing as age, it's just experience, is that there really aren't labels, and that's why, we say that I'm Walt Disney and he's Mickey Mouse, because we believe that. Labels are for what? Why should you have labels and say, oh, you're this or you're that? Just be you, whoever you identify as, whatever you call yourself. I'm Mr. D, he's Richie Rich. Just be wild and wacky and have fun. Life is short. Just live it, just love it. And the most important thing that Richie and I always say, and Richie will tell you this, is live your dreams. Live your dreams and keep dreaming, and always keep dreaming.
Amen.
I agree.
I love that.
And I love how you have children, and your aspect to me, and Mr. D, to us, it's also as much fun as we have, and we want to inspire people, and glitter all day long and all night long. We're all about morals too, just having that focused family life, and just really
yes.
being good people. I mean, and it's back to the naysayers, who wants to be treated badly? Nobody does. I mean, everybody wants a happy thought, and I know life isn't all rainbows and glitter, but it can definitely help a little.
That's right.
Add on that ingredient. ingredients, rather.
It's not. But it is the moments in between. I tell my kids, I'm like, look, life is a series of ups and downs. Enjoy the ups because there'll certainly be downs. But I love how you guys have come together with Beautykween.com and you have created this virtual site. I'm going to take it back to there for a second because you have gotten the support of other celebrities. I believe Sisters Madonna, Lady Gaga, Naomi Campbell. I mean, you have this amazing network and you're getting them to come in. How are these people coming in and actually helping, your future audience?
We want to reach out to, go ahead, Mr. D.
Absolutely. After you, Richie.
Oh, no, I was going to say, they're like Gaga. I knew when she was Stephanie, and now we love House Labs. We love everything that everybody that you've just mentioned have done and inspired us in our lives. And we want to invite them into the velvet rope of Beautykween because everything they're doing is inspiring everybody that we love and that we want to be part of the party and just build it, grow it, and have fun.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Essentially, look, Richie was one of the first people on planet Earth to look at the runway differently. I myself always looked at fashion as entertainment. I never looked at the dresses as the pattern work. Richie was a designer, but he also looked at it as entertainment. And he marched celebrities down the runway one after another, from Paris Hilton to Pam Anderson and beyond. And we've both built up a great, robust roster of now our nearest and dearest friends that have amazing projects of their own. A lot of them have makeup brands, beauty brands right now. And we want them to all be a part of this. We're Switzerland. We want everyone to come on here because we want to give a voice to these kids that we really feel are not being represented the best way they could in the industry. And we're not talking about beauty industry per se. That's great. We're just talking about planet Earth industry. And that's what Beautykween is. Essentially, it's a makeup festival in your bedroom every day of the week. Right, Richie?
Oh, yeah. Everybody's invited to the party. Hello.
And Mr. D, don't sell yourself short because I know as I was getting ready, I have my NARS blush that I was getting out.
See?
And I was just laughing because I'm like, my guest today is behind some of the most well-known brands that most women are out there seeking. So, I felt like I was wearing a bit of you today.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. D, will you explain how the whole the NARS
it's a great example.
journey happened?
I'll give you the short story because the long story is really long and will probably be in my book one day. But to let all listeners and the viewers know about it, Leah, really what it is that here was a boy from France that had a dream, Francois Nars, that became the greatest living makeup artist in America and throughout the world, doing rock stars and superstars and supermodels. And he had a vision of doing something, but he really didn't have the full capabilities to do some of the way traditional makeup brands were being done. He basically had a plan, and that plan came down to launching 12 lipsticks. And so most people would look at their friends and talk to them and get advice. They say, 12 lipsticks. Nah, don't do that. As a best friend of Francois, I looked at him and I said, 12 lipsticks? Heck yeah, let's bring those everywhere. Let's roll it out like a rock band and let everyone know that these lipsticks are the most important things to have in your bag, to have in your purse, to have in your boudoir, to have on your face. Mm-hmm. And so we did it in a very different, non-traditional way. And we didn't do it purposely. We just did it by accident. And we came up with a concept that had never been done in launching something video first. And it came from my years of inspiration in MTV, watching as a child. Richie, the same thing, was inspired by MTV. I wanted to jump into that screen. And nowadays, cut back to Beautykween, I feel that if MTV, music television, launched today, I feel it would be makeup television. That's why we have our friends like Larry Namer, who's come aboard as chief mogul officer, who founded the amazing network called E. E is so fabulous. They brought the red carpet into everybody's home, to everyone's television. And so all these people are groundbreakers. We're friends with them. We eat with them. We talk with them. We work out with them. And we're finally at the opportunity, perfect right now, the silver lining to the world right now, or the glitter lining, is that we can lasso all these people together and say, hey, let's give a safe place to kids to have a platform to really experience something they've never seen before. Let's put them at the center of the brand instead of the products themselves. There'll be plenty of products at Beautykween, but Richie likes to always say to me, hey, Mr. D, the product is a souvenir. Let's give him the amusement park first.
Yeah. Come on for the ride and have fun. Hey.
I love it. That is so awesome. That's incredible. And because of the fact that, you know, I'm going to go into something a little bit heavier and a little bit more personal because, you know, you guys know part of the reason I asked you, October is coming out month. And, you know, everyone has their experience. And I was wondering, you know, given that they've created a month that really is, you know, hopefully empowering young individuals to come out, what was your experience like, if you don't mind sharing, you know, was it good? Was it bad? You know?
I mean, I feel like I've always just been who I am. And like, I really feel like to me, coming out was really when I really started like having like the true friends that I knew like had the same, they were akin to me. Like they had the same kind of dreams and vibes, and like, and we were like, yo, we can be whoever we want to be, really, as long as we're good, cool people and don't listen to the bullies or any of these people like that. And I feel like the minute I started just putting more glitter on it, just I shook up and woke up. Boom.
I love that. I mean, for us, look, Rich and I, of course, support the traditional sense and the meaning of coming out for anyone, anywhere, any corner of the planet and Mars and beyond. We support that. We empower that.
Oh, yeah.
And we love seeing that. For us, you know, again, we think of ourselves so differently. For me, growing up, all my friends were playing football, playing basketball, and going into arenas. I was going into shopping malls, into Barney's, the Bloomingdale's, and seeing what's going on there. They're reading Sports Illustrated. I was reading Vogue magazine. But it all goes back to being yourself and being able to really be confident, believe in yourself, believe in the support system of people around you, and just live your dreams and keep dreaming and dreaming big. And that to us is what it was all about for us, I think.
Totally.
Yeah. To the little kid that is struggling with that though. And you know, it's very interesting for me, even, you know, I can honestly say, and I grew up in Napa, California, which is where I actually attended school. And there was not a lot of, I mean, I have to be honest, at least not openly. It was not a community full of, people get shocked when I say this, Blacks or even, you know, homosexuals. My grandfather, I have a cousin she's actually gay, and you know, the family used to say, it's so good your grandfather had died already, you know, that kind of nonsense of like, otherwise the family would be torn apart. And I didn't grow up, but my daughter and my kids, like my 23-year-old, I have a 23-year-old who's now married and has a child of her own, of course, but her experience when she would come home, and me as a mom who would come home and she was in elementary school and saying, oh, there's a kid in my class and he's gay or she's gay, or, you know, or they identify as something. Look, I really want to speak to the parents out there who are getting freaked out by this type of conversation. I feel that you should be rational, that you shouldn't rush to judgment. I feel that the journey of actually being a parent in this day and age is understanding that you didn't have your kid to dictate who they become and what they're going to be like in this lifetime, right?
Yeah, it's Richie.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say you're exactly. And, you know, it's also, I think knowledge is power. It's also like, you know, parents are meant to worry, you know, if they truly are your parent and love you, like they're worried about you. And it's also like, even without the gay label, like it's also like, say your parents come from a big stream of lawyers and they're like, oh, you're going to follow in our footsteps. And it's like, no, I'm moving to the East Village in Manhattan. I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to paint on canvas. And they're like, what? And like, it's just, I think just following your trail of what your destiny is supposed to be, and you know, like just don't string them along. Just be like, this is me. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all these norms. You know, it's time to just disrupt all of that and move on from that old-fashioned traditional sense of livelihood and sense of life and the way everyone thinks everyone should be. I mean, come on, let's just have fun. Whatever you do, whatever I do, let's just all do it together.
Yeah.
You know, we've done a casting throughout the Americas, and Rich and I have met so many young people that have such amazing, profound stories. We hear it all the time about their parents not letting them ever come home again, about walking outside their front door 20 minutes from New Orleans and being worried about wearing a full face of makeup and getting beat up or getting teased. And, it's real. It's really real. And so we're not able to change the world and wave our magic wand, but we're going to try. We really are going to try, because we know the kids that we're talking to right now want to change the world as well. So, hey, step by step, we'll give it our best shot. But all we say to them is just take your time and turn to people that love you and know that you're loved and know that your life is just as amazing as everyone next to you on the left, everyone next to you on the right. And you are an amazing person, and just do it, do it, do it.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you know what? That's why I'm so
Totally.
excited. Because you guys live that. You own that. And that's why I was saying earlier, and so now with Beautykween, I think that in the LGBTQ community right now, there is, look, there would be people who would say that in the 70s, or ever since the 70s, the progression of LGBTQ rights is why we're at this tailspin of a lot of conservatives with their panties in a bunch, thinking that the world is going to be taken over by Muslims and the LGBTQ community. By the way, I feel like that's what they're afraid of. And when you guys look at what you're doing with Beautykween, I think that it further instills, like you said, and they're in labels. I can't stand labels, and I don't like being put in boxes, and I don't like telling people what they can and cannot do in life. So I think with empowering people with Beautykween, it's incredible, because we will never eradicate. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, it's funny how racism is like hard stop, right? Like, you can't be racist and think we're going to be cool. But for some reason, the LGBTQ community, do you believe in rights? Then suddenly there's a little bit of a pause for some people of like, oh, well, that doesn't affect me. Just because I don't have a child who identifies with the LGBTQ community, I'm speaking in like any other person's sense. If you feel you don't have, that it doesn't affect you, that doesn't mean it might not one day. My daughter may not now, she's 13. Maybe she hasn't, if she comes to me at 20 and says, Mom, I'm a lesbian and these rights affect my life, well, then it does impact me. And so I think that people shouldn't be so easy to dismiss these issues, because I think they're pretty heavy when you want to talk about taking away rights and being discriminated against. But I love that beautykween.com will not discriminate. You take all. You take them all in any way, shape, or form. Are you going to be teaching people how to do makeup in a way? Or, it's funny that you said that even about Larry. And actually, really quick, I got to throw that in. Thank you. Larry is the one who put us together.
Thank you, Larry.
He's also my adopted mentor. And he's just such an incredible man. People were surprised when he got a little bit involved in this project. And then he's, like he said, I don't know why. He's always been a person to, put his stock behind the Kim Kardashians of the world and people and just change the game. So why would people not think that he was step behind this venture is actually a mind boggle to me. But I'm so glad that you guys have his support in this. What has been kind of the bigger struggles for you guys right now, with like in the instance of COVID and whatnot? And Mr. D, I know you're stuck in New York, right? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to bring that up. You're getting ready for your first winter in New York. Do I need to send you a jacket?
That's like eyelash glue.
We're having an amazing time in New York, Richie and I. We usually travel, most of the time from coast to coast, as anyone in entertainment and fashion and style and culture. But we've been in New York kind of hunkering down, working on this project. And it's been a blessing for us. It really has. It's enabled us to really focus on something that we care so much about without any of the distractions. And that's the same thing with these kids that we tell them. There's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be people teasing you and trying to make fun of you. Just eliminate the noise. Eliminate the noise and keep marching forward. Keep marching the F forward. That's all you got to do, kids. That's all you got to do.
Fabulous word.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything that's been hard. Everything's hard. Look, wake up in the morning and going to the gym is hard, but you just got to do it. So Richie and I persevere. We're having a blast. And I think the answer really, I guess, Richie would say, is that we love what we're doing. We believe in what we're doing, and we enjoy it so much. And we're meeting so many amazing people. The whole concept of these video conferencing meetings has come up. Have been amazing. It used to be you'd have to fly somewhere to meet them, or you talk to them on the phone. This kind of disrupted that entire old passe model of meeting someone face to face. Now, the minute you talk to someone, an email exchange or text exchange, boom, boom, there you are face to face on a video call. It's absolutely fabulous. All the people that you can meet, all the different faces, hearing everyone's stories and what they're doing. We love it. Richie's having a blast with it, especially in all his amazing
I
outfits
love
that he
it.
wears every day.
And I mean, it's so different from like for me because like Mr. D's a lot more like tech savvy than I am. Like, and in my mind I am, but like I'm so used to like going to a nightclub or throwing a fashion show in person, and like a lot of us, like our worlds have all changed, and like this world has been an amazing experience so far. Like, and just like Mr. D said, like just like finding people and meeting new people like all around the world. It's been really cool, like more so than ever. Like, and
The
yeah,
age
we're
range is.
having a blast.
I'm actually also excited
know.
for my 13-year-old daughter to get involved with the Beautykween. I'm going to have her, we were looking at it yesterday, and I think that there's going to be so much. I love that you guys have been able to agree with you, by the way.
We want her involved. Absolutely. She is a beauty queen. Everybody's a beauty queen to us.
Yes. Boom.
Well, it's when you guys say that, you remind me of we had another guest, Tanya Green, who is actually the head makeup artist person for that, So You Think You Can Dance, American Idol, some of the bigger, shows. And, when we talk about what makeup and just getting into maybe a different personality, what it does for the psyche, right? Like you said, getting dressed up for the Zoom calls. I love that. Like I get dressed up for the podcast. Otherwise, I'm in my yoga pants and like a tank top. It's a shame. You're not supposed to be doing that during COVID, and I find myself doing that. But the reality is makeup, though it doesn't need to be the thing that changes you. It can actually still give you a moment of like just freedom, right? Like I feel like to some degree people, it's like makeup, oh, it's just makeup. No, like what does makeup truly represent to you when it comes to feeling and mental health, Richie and Mr. D? Like what do you guys
I think it's just like a journey. Like it just you can be anything you want to be, really. I mean, it's magical. It's not such a commitment like a tattoo, perhaps, even though I love those as well on people. Like, but you can just do and then just play around with it and then wash it right off and do it again. And you can enter a room like a whole different person or the same person you are with just a little bit more shine or gleam that you didn't have a little bit ago. Like, woo. And yeah,
So
it's just a fun Crayola box of fun. Like, woo.
I wish I had the picture up. I should have brought it. But last year for Dia de los Muertos, I had done a photo shoot, and I had the whole. And I honestly miss being able to do those type of photo shoots, because to get dressed up and just become something. Even in my pictures, I was so much more confident, right? Because I don't know what to say, but I kind of was.
Oh yeah, it gives you that boost, like.
Yeah, it just when I put on them heels and I had all this, it was like I'm walking out with such power, and I felt it and I owned it. So I can appreciate that this is what people will do. Mr. D, I had a question, because in one of the articles I had read and studying up, you had said that not every, sorry, I'm looking actually for my quote here. You had said that it doesn't always, that not every makeup is actually offering something to its audience. Actually, I think I'm bad. I'm looking at my notes right here. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Forgive me. This part we won't be editing. This is when the world will learn. Once again, I'm human.
Don't worry.
You had said other beauty sites don't effectively serve their audience. I apologize. What did you mean by that? And how is Beautykween going to be a little bit different?
It's a great question that Richie and I could explain and kind of uncompress here. So for us, you just said it. You nailed it. That word audience. It's all about the audience. It's all about the audience for us. The audience of these super fans that absolutely adore and love to dress up and to glam up and to look amazing every day. And to kids that want to be able to do that but haven't gotten into that yet. And so we want to address that audience, and we want to say this audience is getting Beautykween. And it's all about the audience coming together, and it's not about putting a product, what they call in the industry a SKU, a barcode in front of you, and making a transaction of selling a lipstick or a lip gloss or a concealer or a highlighter. I can keep going on. I think that for many, many years, that model has never changed. It's never evolved. That's great. It serves these corporations very well, but that's just not who Richie and I and Larry and everyone at Beautykween are all about. Our team and our group is really about catering to this audience of real passionate super fans of makeup that want to have makeup, they want to have music, and they want to have madness. And that's what we're about. And we're going to do that. We're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And we're doing it already. And we're loving it. We're loving every minute of it.
That is fantastic. Richie, how do you feel that this is going to impact the next generation of, beauty?
I mean, I remember even like when I was a teenager, like say like I worked at the mall and then there would be certain boutiques that you just felt this kind of like you're excited to walk in there, but you kind of felt intimidated kind of like, and then later in life I realized like, why was I intimidated by all that? Like the thing about Beautykween is there's no intimidation whatsoever. It's everybody's invited. It's inclusive. It's not exclusive. It's everybody needs to put their fingers in the palette of life and ride the rainbow and just come on board and don't be shy. Shy isn't part of our rigmarole, and being bored isn't either. That's for a boardroom, like Mr. D and I always say. So come on, honey.
Right.
That's it. A lot of these world-class brands were created in boardrooms, and as Richie just said, he couldn't have said it any more eloquently. Boardrooms are extremely boring. And so that's why we create worlds that are nothing but excitement and fireworks and color and just amazement.
I love that. That's incredible.
Exactly.
Are you guys, I mean, you're super excited for the launch, I can tell. Post-COVID, are you guys, I mean, I think that it's amazing that you guys are doing something virtual, because virtual is going to be here for a while. I mean, even if we have a vaccine tomorrow, business models are going to change, and I agree. So what can you say as far as people, like, what tips can you offer someone in the audience that wants to pursue fashion and makeup industries as trendsetters? And by that also, but I'm assuming that you have to be a person who really doesn't care what other people think if you're really going to be a trendsetter. Am I wrong or am I right?
I think you're right. No, you're right. I mean, the whole thing also, like, which is really exciting, back to like when Mr. D was mentioning MTV, like growing up, I never knew I'd be on MTV. Like he said, we wanted to jump through the television. Like, how are you going to get there? And with fashion weeks, I always try to make my shows very like, not just for the fashion industry, but also mix it up on the runway with celebrities and people I've met on the street, like cool skateboarders and breakdancers and models and all of it. And I feel like that getting into fashion now, especially with social media, it's so great because anything goes, and virtual will happen, but then, meet and greets and things like that can happen again when the world kind of, as people say, it opens up and more. And I think just it's all there. It's just a blank page that you can just fill and just go for it, and have fun with it too.
Mr. D.
Involve your friends and just make your own club. Boom.
It's true. You guys, like that's what I've learned in life. Make it yours. Don't be afraid to make it yours. I love that. And I'm just going to tell you guys that it's always inspiring to see other people lead the way for others. It really is, because, that's why I asked that. You have to be a person who really comes to that point in life where you don't care what anyone else thinks. You're not going to sacrifice who you are to make others happy anymore. That's important, and that's okay too. And
yeah, I mean, look at what you're doing with this show. You have such a huge following. You're so popular in the airways, your podcasts, your videos, your books. I mean, Richie and I have known so much about you. We found that we were going to be on the show. We were so thrilled. And you're setting your own path. You're setting your own path. You're setting your own course. You're a trendsetter. Everyone has the ability to be a trendsetter these days. There's so many great tools out there, between social media, between different things you can find out on the internet. I mean, resources are everywhere right now. Everyone should embrace that and kind of ride their own wave and build their own world and kind of go with it, like the way you have, the way we have. And that's what we want to be telling everybody.
You guys, how can everyone else be as fabulous as you both?
Oh, coming from you, that's such a compliment, Lev. Boom.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I think that when all of this is done, either I will be in New York or you. And I say all of this is done. You're right too, Richie. It will. It's I always talk about.
It will. We're gonna get together and have a kiki. That like we're gonna have a little fun together. Like, hey.
For sure. Hey, listen. Let me tell you. Off camera, I know how to have fun. Okay, listen. People, I literally one time somebody was like, somebody was like, oh, you actually have fun. I'm like, yes. They're like, well, you're such a professional, and I thought you were so. And I'm like, okay, listen, but I still know how to have fun in life.
I love that.
And speaking of clubs, like I genuinely remember a moment when I was with one of my best friend. We were standing city nights in San Francisco, and I was probably 18. And I'm like, I see an older person, and I kind of jokingly turned to my sister. I'm like, listen, if I'm in the club at 40 something years old, like tell me to get my old butt home, right? And then here I am at 40 something. And listen, if it wasn't for COVID, I'd be back in Ibiza. I'd be in Barcelona. I'd be in freaking. I know how to work a club. Okay.
Living.
Like, I'm not done yet. What am I talking about? So also, I love it. It's endless. It's beauty. And so thank you so much, you guys, for coming on. With regards
I wanted to say, like, I love that you just said San Francisco, because we're both Bay Area. Like, I grew up in the Bay Area. Like, my first clubs were San Francisco, like from the suburbs, and then New York happened and the club kids and all that.
Oh, okay. You know what? I did not realize that. Wait, I didn't realize that. I always knew the New York thing. I didn't realize that you. So wait, so Bay Area kid, huh? So see, when I say city nights,
I trained as a figure skater in San Mateo at Chris Yamaguchi, and I joined the Ice Capades, and then and then the kids in New York saw me, and then I moved here, and boom.
I know you have such a fascinating background, like. Honest, my husband knows who you are. My husband was from Dallas, and he's like, "Oh, I remember Richie Rich." He's like,
"Oh yeah, I used to do parties at Club One. I was like a kid. We were all kids."
In San Francisco,
we're still kids.
We are,
of course,
exactly.
Forever.
That was kind of the whole point that I meant, and and I think that part of that is, like you guys said earlier, enjoying life, taking time. People always say to me, especially when I talk about my cancer background, they're like, "Well, it's like life is short," and I'm like, well, "Yeah, duh." Yeah. But let me tell you something.
So
it's really long if you're miserable.
So happy.
Life is really long if you're miserable, so make the best of it. So I love that you guys encourage everyone to make the best of it. With regards to Beautykween and people who also want to join the rainbow and be in the land of glam, how do they subscribe? Where do they go to get ready for that excitement?
Well, they could just log on to beautykween.com, put in their name, put in their email address, and the fun begins. And get behind the velvet rope, as we say.
Sorry, I know I probably should have given you.
That's Queen with a K.
Yeah, because that's actually, I want to say it for our listening audience. It is Beautykween with a KWEEN.com, correct?
.com. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys are fantastic. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're amazing. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. I look forward to more. And, look, one last question. And with regards to what everyone else is going through, Richie, I'll ask you first. What's your best piece of advice for how you're getting through and managing the stress that comes along with today?
Just open your eyes. Know in the morning you can actually see the world, and just know the possibilities that are out there. And the fact that we have that gift is great. And there's so much we can appreciate no matter what's going on.
Absolutely. Mr. D?
For me, it's just waking up every morning, blasting some rockin' music, blasting it all day long, and knowing that this will be beyond soon, the future will come, and just keep living and dreaming. And most importantly, like your fabulous earrings you have on today, Aalia, love.
Totally.
Love someone, love something. Most importantly, as Rich and I always say, love yourself first. That's the most important thing we could tell all the listeners today. Love yourself the most.
Yes, I think that should be your slogan. Love yourself, by the way, on that. And that's it. That's it. Well, thank you so much. And to our audience, I want to thank you for joining us. We will be back again next week with another episode. But in the meantime, man, do you be great. Do like them. Just go out and live. Remember that.
Yes, and keep dreaming.
Totally.
Yeah, it doesn't happen on the couch. So just do your best.
Everybody is a star. Be that star, babies. Woo.
Amen. From you, and I love it, and I appreciate it. Everyone will see you.
And I love what you're wearing, by the way. I want your listeners to be able to see. It's like you're giving like runway ready fabulousness. Boom.
That's the thing. It's been in my closet. That's why I love it. You know what? It's always inspirational to draw out of people. It's like, my 13-year-old was having a little bit of a meltdown yesterday, and she was upset.
Don't we all?
And I told her, look, I said, let me tell you something. You're great. All that passion, all this that you have inside of you, you are great. You are greatness. You just don't know it yet. And so,
Exactly.
you know what? I just want to remind anyone, you're great. You have greatness within you. You may not know it, but I encourage you, we all encourage you to find it, to be it, to live it. Don't let it go. And in the meantime, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for letting us be Unsugarcoated. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, love.
It's so strange, I'm not holding my tongue. Radio making me feel so numb. Stolen beats, they're on repeat. But come on, don't we all wanna be someone? Yeah, it's killing me, but I just wanna be a man.
What are you still doing here? Come back next week. Bye.